Well, listen, I believe there's a word from the Lord. Turn with me in your Bibles, John chapter number 5. I believe I'm here on assignment, John chapter number 5. Begin reading at verse number 1. My Bible reads this way. After this, there was a feast of the Jews, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Now there is in Jerusalem by the sheep gate a pool, which is called in Hebrew Bethesda, having 5 porches. In these lay a great multitude of sick people, blind, lame, paralyzed, waiting for the moving of the water. For an angel went down at a certain time into the pool and stirred up the water. Then whoever stepped in first after the stirring of the water was made well of whatever disease he had. Now a certain man who was there had an infirmity for 38 years. When Jesus saw him lying there and he knew that he had already been in that condition a long time, he said to him, "Do you want to be made well?" The sick man said, "Sir, I have no man to put me into the pool when the water is stirred, but while I'm coming up, another steps down before me." Jesus said to him, "Rise, take up your bed and walk." And immediately the man was made well, took up his bed and walked. And on the Sabbath, the Jews said, "Is it the Sabbath? Is it not lawful for you to carry your bed?" He answered him, "He who made me well said to me, 'Take up your bed and walk.'" For the few moments we have together, I want to ask this question: what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? How many of y'all have ever had to wait for something? How many of me phrase the question, because that's a rhetorical one. I want to see if y'all will be honest at first, and nobody even raised their hand for that. So y'all just not going to be real, huh? Y'all let me know real quick what I'm working with. Like that was just, you failed the test, out the door. So if you're not going to be honest there, I bet you're not going to be honest on question number 2. How many of you all like waiting? Thank you for just a few testimonies saying I don't like waiting. Well, what do you do when you're waiting for something and waiting for something and waiting for something and it doesn't happen? What happens when you were just believing God for breakthrough or healing or something special, something you thought that he might have even placed on your heart, and it doesn't come to fruition? What do you do when you're waiting? Maybe by chance you are like some other people in this room where you've waited so long for something. You even tried to go for something. You even believed God for something that didn't happen. And as a result of it not happening, you found yourself in a state of disappointment. Disappointment is something we don't talk about much in church because we only talk about the joy of the Lord being our strength and his strength being our joy. We tell you, you ought to always come into the church with gladness, come before his presence with singing, rejoice, know that he is God and it is he that has made us and not we ourselves. We talk about that, but we don't talk about the book of Job. A book that is filled with pain and suffering and triumphant moments. And in the same breath, Job needed medication because he would say, "Man, I'm mad and sad almost at the same time." He would be cussing in his mind and praising with his mouth. It was just, this man we find in our text today in John chapter number 5 is a man that's been waiting by this pool for 38 years. I imagine after waiting there for 38 years, hoping and praying and believing that something was going to happen, he has to be disappointed. Maybe he's bought into the same lie that your neighbor bought into, because you're not going to be honest. So let's talk about your neighbor. And if you're anything like some of the people that I serve at Empowerment Church, some of the people I serve, they so funny acting. Every word is for somebody else. They be like, "This would be so good if such and such could hear this word." Yep, I'm telling them right now, go watch this when it hits the stream. So don't think about yourself, because you're not going to be honest with me. You've proven that. You failed that test already. Let's not even try it again. So let's talk about if it was your neighbor we're talking about, or your friend who really is you, but you say it's not me, so you say asking for a friend. Let's pretend like this is an I'm asking for a friend moment. If that's the case, have you bought into the lie that who you've always been is who you always have to be? Have you succumbed to the notion that just because it hasn't happened yet, that it cannot happen in the future? Have you bought into the lie that says could not means cannot, did not mean does not? Hasn't, meaning will not. Do you see the difference there? Because some of us allow our past to be indicators of what is possible for the future. You're not following me yet? Let me see if I can catch you here. You made resolutions in 2018 about the kind of year 2019 would be, and you got into 2019, and 2019 started looking real familiar, and it reminded you of 2018. So instead of doing something different in 2019, you went back to doing what you used to do in 2018, and now you're stuck. Because while in your mind you told yourself 2019 would be different, you didn't do anything different, and now you rolled over into 2019 thinking that you would pray, and all of a sudden everything would change. You're not gonna be real? Y'all never did that? New Year's Eve watch night, you like, yes, next year is my year. It's my year of no restrictions, baby. Hashtag no restrictions. I'm going for it. Then January 4th come around. And you like, man, this feel a whole lot like last year. In February coming, you like, yes, it's not looking too good. By the time March come, you like, yeah, I'm gonna start over next year. It's just three months down, and you be like, yeah, I see y'all, my 2020 is gonna be better. But what if I told you your 2019 still had a chance to be completely different than how it started? What if I told you who you've been is not who you have to be, because this can be your year of no restrictions? I've been teaching it this way at home. We're in the year of becoming. And so what does it mean for us to move from who we have been to who God says we can be? Because it's possible for us to have lived our life a certain way for however long amount of time, and us believe that's who I always got to be. Did you know Steve Jobs went to school for calligraphy? Somebody's like, what is calligraphy? Fancy writing. Don't Google it. I don't trust y'all. You talk about I'm Googling, and then you end up on Facebook, and then you end up not listening, just... Calligraphy, it is the art of fancy writing in layman's terms. That's what he went to school for. So what if he bought into the lie that what I've always done is who I'll always be? So I'm never going to step out into the unknown of what could be, because this is what I'm used to doing. Becoming. Stepping out of what used to be into what can be, understanding that what I've always done is not what I always have to do, that there is a chance that who I was is who I was, but God said, I came to make all things new. Behold, I am a new. Am I making sense so far? So if that is the case, if he came to make all things new, if he says that I came so that you could be a new creation, that means there is always the possibility that what I've been experiencing is not what I can experience in the future, that there's something greater that could be waiting on the other side of what had been restricting me. And is it possible that what had been restricting me wasn't God nor the enemy, it was me? For 38 years, is what the text says, this man keeps going to the pool. This pool is by the sheep gate. As you get to the sheep gate, I want to make sure I'm not making this up, I want you to see it. It's in verse number 2. It says, by the sheep gate, there's a pool. As they're at this pool, they're there. There has these 5 porches. These 5 porches have these 5 pillars. It's a picture. They keep going. It says that every year as they keep going back and forth, they're waiting for this angel to come down and stir this pool. And as the angel stirs this pool, they're going to just splash, hop in it, and all of a sudden they're going to be healed. I mean, it's exactly, somebody laugh because it's funny when you think about it. It'd be the equivalent saying, yeah, you know, I'm gonna go to that. You're saying you're gonna leave church and go get in the hot tub at the spa, and you're gonna wait till somebody turn it on and the bubbles start going, and yep, now it's time. Bethsaida, it's this idea when the 2 words are put together, it means house or place of grace. They're going every year, continually, perpetually to the same place, believing that at this house of grace, that they're going to get healed, that something's going to happen. They've been doing it. It says as they're there, blind people are there, lame people are there, paralyzed people are there, impotent people are there. They all keep coming because they all have problems. And I'm going to just pause for a moment just to insert this in here for free. I'm not quite sure why it is sometimes at church we make it seem like sick people shouldn't come to church. They're the blind, the sick, the lame, the impotent were those who are going to the place of grace. The place of grace is a picture of where strange things start happening. What couldn't be happens at the place of grace. It's where God looks beyond our faults, sees us, and meets us at our needs. It's a picturesque portrait of the local church. And if it's a picturesque portrait of the local church, it means that God's expectation is that we don't come here put together. Because sometimes once we get saved, we want to keep those out who don't look like us, dress like us, talk like us, smell like us. When we all should be at the place of grace. At the place of grace is where I get a fresh start. And that's not just the name of this church. That's the name of what God desires to do with all of our lives. It's a mandate, it's a mission, it's a calling that he can make all things new. But what if I told you the reason why ain't nothing changed in your life is because ain't nothing changed in your life? The reason you ain't changed is because guess what? You ain't changed. I know that's not good English. When you look at the passage today, you discover this text is tailored to teach us that some of us are waiting for someone else to do something in our life that God desires for us to do on our own. I'm going to say that again. The reason why some of us are stuck, stagnant, blind, and impotent, paralyzed, stuck, our life is on pause, and we are not tapped into the untapped potential that lies dormant in our life, it is because we are waiting for somebody else to come by to pick us up and put us in the water. So you want somebody else to tell you where you gifted at, and you ain't took the time to discover out where you gifted at. Can y'all hear me? Oh, I just wanted to make sure. Is it possible that for 38 years, this man keeps showing up? It says as he's showing up, they all are there together. All of the sick people keep showing up, going to the place of grace. As they keep showing up, man, it said they're just waiting there in anticipation. And it says that when they go, this is the part that got me. It said when they go, only one of them will get healed. So I got to keep going, hoping, waiting, and I'm thinking in my mind, man, it's my time. It's my time. It's my time. Oh, well, not this time. Maybe next time it's my time. Oh, not this time. Next time. Man, Pastor Boone prophesied over me last year was going to be my year. What happened? I want my money back because that told me it was going to be my time. It ain't been my time yet. Talk to you about disappointment. That will create a sense of disappointment for anybody to keep going somewhere, doing the same thing, but not getting a different result. That has to weigh on you emotionally. And what you may not know about disappointment is disappointment has the ability to create at least 5 different factors in your life. It can create depression, where you don't even want to try anymore. It can create apathy, where you just don't feel. You become numb to what's happening around you. Yeah. Depression, apathy, anger. That's why some of y'all pop off at McDonald's, go act a fool at the chicken joint, and ain't nobody said nothing to you but hi. Why you looking at me like that, bruh? It's because you sitting at their table. They coming to serve you, no, but he was looking at me. She don't know me like that. What? You just aggressive. It's because deep down on the inside of us, whether or not we'll admit it, most of us struggle currently or have struggled previously with disappointment in the past, and nothing will pause your life like disappointment in the past you don't check. Because when you have lived with a level and a degree of disappointment in your past, it will make you wonder, is anything possible in my future? Because every time you get ready to try again, you think about how it didn't work last time. When you find this man in our text today, he's there 38 years. And I assume he's making the same assumption that we make sometimes. But here's what I need you to know, that when your potential is realized and released, your purpose can be fulfilled. I'm going to say that again. When your potential is realized and released, that is when your purpose can be fulfilled. Because when your potential is realized, your passion will rise up. So some of you all have bought into the stuff that Oprah says sometimes, where it's like, yeah, just go follow your passion. That makes you happy, go do it. That might not be your thing, boo. Just because singing make you happy don't mean you can sing. Can we just talk for us? Let me just be practical to make it real clear. Just because you think you sound good in the shower don't mean you should be the next big thing. So that's because it makes you happy. That's all you said. If it make you happy, it can't be that bad. That's not true. That's just the furthest thing from the truth. So you're chasing your passion, no clue about the potential that you have, and as a result, you're missing and you're misguiding it. So you keep doing the same thing over and over again, and you keep trying to get excited about doing it over and over again, but you haven't realized, man, your potential is connected to your purpose, and your purpose is to be doing something else, but you keep doing this, and you're doing it passionately, but it ain't your purpose. I said it this way last time. You show up to church early, you leave church late, but you nasty. You shouldn't be on the welcome team. I know it doesn't happen at Fresh Start. Let me just testify. I had it before at Empowerment, and I've seen it before in the past. You got people who show up late. Come early, stay late. They got great discipline, a terrible disposition. So they show you that they're committed, but they don't show you that they want to change. And I'd rather have people who want to change than people who show up to be committed. Your disposition matters. It's not just how disciplined are you, it is what is the psychological, mental, emotional state of your mind when you're doing what you're doing. So when he asks the man, do you want to get well? He's not asking him, how long have you been coming? He's not asking him, what time did you get here? He's not asking who was here before you got here. I know you're here, but do you want to get well? It's a question that does not just raise his mind and his intellect. It's a question that challenges the condition of his heart. Because you can believe God for something for so long and be disappointed by people, disappointed by stuff, where you lose heart. Y'all not going to be real? Let me make it practical. When your boo broke your heart, you told them your sweet nothings. They knew everything about you, and they left you. It left you feeling broken-hearted. If you really cared about them, it left you feeling in a state of wondering if it will be possible again in your future. And because most of you never sought healing for it in the present, your future keep looking a whole lot like your past. Because you might be chasing what makes you happy but don't make you whole. Just because we take good pictures for the gram don't mean we should be together. Be looking like, you know what? I think we could make a cute baby together. What? Chasing passion, that which makes you happy, instead of potential, that which leads you to a life that is fulfilled. And if you unlock your potential, you'll wind up going towards your purpose. And as you go towards your purpose, you'll be able to walk into it with another level of passion, because you're confusing passion with this temporary state of satisfaction called happiness, and happiness is based on happenings. So I'm only happy when you put this in front of me. I don't really have joy. I got temporary satisfaction. Y'all not gonna be real? I'm gonna catch you right here. It's why some of y'all only call them at 12 o'clock at night. Because they don't make you happy during the daytime. Y'all not gonna talk.
that too real? I just want to make sure y'all was woke because y'all was looking at me like I was crazy about 10 minutes ago. This man, for 38 years, keeps showing up to this pool based upon this pretense that everybody around him has been taught that if I keep coming to this pool, eventually the angel's going to jump in, stir this water up, I'm going to jump in his case, roll in, and I'm going to get healed. But he says, when Jesus asks him this question, he says, sir, every time I get ready to do it, somebody hop in front of me. Disappointment. It says when he gets there, he's laying on a mat, and it makes it clear because Jesus tells him when he gives him the instruction, says, rise, take up your mat and walk. If he's telling him to rise, take up his mat and walk, it lets me know he's been laying on the ground on this mat, which lets me know he probably did not walk himself into there. So where are the people who brought him here? He didn't bring himself there. Well, that's disappointment at another level. Because he had to trust somebody to bring him. But they left him. Y'all ever had somebody leave you? It can be disappointing. Some people, you need to praise God. It's free. Just take that one for free. I'm not charging you. Pocket it. Hold it till you need it. You were calling it the devil. It was really God. Because they brought you to where as far as they could take you, and if they would have stayed with you, you wouldn't have made it to your next destination. As a matter of fact, it's possible that that's what happened in the story. The man for 38 years could have thought he needed people, and he really needed Jesus. And because he was chasing people to put him in the water, he was missing the one who with one word could say, get up, take up your mat and walk. And I want to know, is there anybody here today that maybe that's your story? You've been waiting for somebody else to come in and make you happy. And all you needed to do was go talk to Jesus and tell him your heart's desire. So you've been waiting on the man to affirm the void you had in your life that only Jesus can fill. "38 years. He said, each time I get ready, somebody gets in front of me. Tells me he's impotent. He hasn't walked, who knows? It says when Jesus saw him, he saw he had been laying there a long time. This is in the book, read it. It's what the verse says. It says he saw him laying there and he knew that he had been there a long time. Something about this man must have looked like he had been there a long time. So yes, we can say that Jesus is all-knowing, but it's possible if he's been there 38 years, y'all, he's got to be dirty. Some of y'all, when you can't get what you want at McDonald's, you look disappointed. He ain't got what he wanted for 38 years for his healing. I bet he looked disappointed. Y'all don't get mad when, maybe y'all ice cream machines always work down here, but up in Chicago, I'm just trying to make sure they with me. I'm gonna make sure they understand what I'm saying, because they looking back at me like I'm speaking another language. So, it's 90 degrees today. If y'all go get some ice cream right now, they tell you that machine ain't working, y'all ain't gonna be looking like, thank you, Jesus. So imagine what this man must have been thinking I'm gonna come to this pool and get my healing for 38 years, and each time he get ready to get in, somebody hop before him. The look on his face must be of extreme disgust, disappointment, apathy. He must be thinking, I'm gonna keep doing this because it's what the church told me to do. Religion tells me to keep doing it this way, but God said there's another way to happen. That religion keeps saying, yep, keep trying it this way, baby. Eventually, something's going to happen. And Jesus is like, no, bro. Do you want to get well? Because if you want to get well, I can get you well. But you got to trust me and try something different. I know you were trying to roll into this water, but I want you to just get up, pick up your mat, and walk. And I think that might be somebody's word today. If you going to get your fresh start, quit waiting on how everybody else did it. Get up. Take up your mat and walk. Do you have the kind of faith that says that might have worked for everybody else? That's not going to be my story. It might not have happened for everybody else, but that's not going to be my story. Y'all don't see it. He at this pool. Everybody else at the pool too. The blind, the lame, the impotent, the paralyzed. They all there together. Jesus walks in.
sees this man, steps over the other people, steps around the other people, and he comes to this man. He sees this man. At the place of grace, he extends grace. He gives him that which he doesn't deserve. As he's laying there by the poolside, he's laying there not even looking for Jesus to do anything. He's laying there expecting to do the same thing he would always do, but Jesus meets him at an unexpected place, at an unexpected time, and when he shows up, he does unexpected things. And I want to know, is there anybody believing that he can show up and meet you at unexpected times in unexpected places and do unexpected things? You didn't think anything could happen. He said, today is your day for a fresh start. They're there. He says, do you want to get well? Bothered me because it's a feeling question. One of my personal side hobbies, whenever I had time and find time, is studying like addiction medicine and behavioral habits because I'm committed to life change. So I want to study people's behavior, why they do what they do, why they get stuck, how they get stuck, why this is. Because your feeling, and feelings are typically the answer behind it, but your feelings are supposed to be indicators. They are your check engine light. They are not the dictator of what's wrong and how you behave. So some of y'all allow your feelings to be your dictator and not your indicator. So Jesus asked him this feeling question: do you want to get well? Do you feel like it today or no? Because if you can't control your feelings, you won't get what I got. Yeah, so if you're gonna sit here and you're gonna let today be the day where you wallow in your sorrow, it ain't gonna happen for me, it can't happen for me, it never happened for me, this person, and some of us lie, and so you don't want to address the brokenness in your heart and the pain of your past, and so you say stuff like, nah, no, they didn't mean that much to me, and so you lying, your heart is broken and hurting, and every time you see them on the gram, you get mad and you cuss and you fuss because you thought they was gonna be your boo, and when y'all went to prom, and now they married, they got 12 kids, and you lonely, and you looking around, and you is. So you keep rehearsing this story in your mind, and you don't want to admit, and when somebody asks you, hey, so all this happened, and everybody see your face just change, you get all crumpled up, and somebody asks you what's wrong, and you say nothing. You don't want to deal with the pain of the past that's blocking the potential of your future. So he asked him, man, do you want to get well? Do you want it like you're pretending to want it? Because if you want it like you're pretending to want it, I'm going to tell you how you can get it. Number one, you could get it if you're willing to trust again. Because some of us are waiting on the person who hurt us and left us to come back and heal us. And so you won't trust because you keep waiting for the person who cut you to heal you. So every time Pastor Boone say he got a word, you write it down, but you don't put it in your heart because you be like, yeah, my last pastor told me the same thing and it didn't work. So you're like, yeah, whatever. Daddy left. It's left a scar, and you tell everybody it's not bothering you. But Father's Day, you crawl up in a ball. If you're not willing to trust again, you won't be able to go get what's yours. Because here it is, you know, some of us have this other theology that does not line up with Scripture. Everything we see Jesus do, he calls the person to take action on. Yeah, there's nothing that Jesus does that passively happens for anybody. All of the miracles that he performs require somebody to do something. They all have to, at some point in time, put their trust in him. It happens in the Old Testament too, but here's what we do. We're not like Peter, we're more like Naaman. So Naaman, in the Old Testament, they were there. He had got this disease, and so they send for Elijah to come, and the prophet comes and sends a word and says that this is how you're going to get healed. He sends this word from God, and he like, wait a minute, what, bro? You want me to go dip in the Jordan 7 times?
I thought you was like gonna spit on your hands, rub it on my face, clap 3 times, spin around 4 times, and all of a sudden I'm gonna be healed. You mean to tell me I'm gonna go dip in the nasty Jordan? Are you holding up your healing because you don't want to do what he said? Y'all not gonna like this. Because we show up Sunday after Sunday and turn up Tuesday after turn up Tuesday, and we take great notes. We don't apply it to your life, and you wonder why you're not healed. As if note taking is gonna change your life. Are you willing to trust again? I'm done. Trusting is this. Trusting again requires opening your heart to the hurts that you've had before. And most of us aren't willing to address the emotional baggage because we rather live our life numb instead of dealing with the pain. But if you're just willing to let God step in and heal your heart, it says that he will take out your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh. And as long as you live with these unaddressed issues of the past and you keep rehearsing what happened to you and how it happened to you, then you will forever be stuck. But if you were willing to trust God and to try again, number one, you got to trust again. Number two, you got to try again. But you won't try if you don't trust. You won't try if you don't trust. It's why some of us don't give like we should. It's because we don't trust. Yeah, I used to give 10%, but you see, ain't nothing happened, G, so now I just give $1. Because I don't trust, because I gave once. I sold on Super C Sunday, and it didn't happen for me the next day, so I don't trust. Will you trust again? If you trust again, you'll try again. Jesus asked this man, do you want to be made well? He responds back and says, each time I tried, this is what happened. He says to him, listen, man, look, get up, rise, take up your mat and walk. It says, and immediately the man was healed, took up his mat and walked. Because when you are willing to allow your faith to be stretched, challenged, and checked, you can get up. But most of us, we want a fresh start without ever admitting, my faith got a hole in it. If your faith didn't have a hole in it, you wouldn't be like the 11 disciples. You'd be like the 12th disciple, Peter, who said, if it be you, tell me to come. Their faith had a hole in it. They're like, is it a ghost? Peter stepping out, they not like, yeah, we coming too. They like, yeah, no, you go by yourself. I'll see you maybe when you get back. But he had enough faith to get out the boat. This man had enough faith to get up. He ain't walked in 38 years, but he had enough faith to say, man, look, if this man would tell me to get up, let me try again. What would have happened if he would have did like we do sometimes and didn't come to church that day? Because he was tired of trying again. He'd have missed his moment. But he was willing to come one more time. Try again. Here's what you got to know about trying again. Sometimes your try again is going to look different than the first time. Yeah, before when he was trying, he was waiting on somebody to pick him up and put him in the water. Arguably, I imagine in my mind, he might have even tried to roll his way into the pool. This time, he don't even get in the pool to get the healing. They all waiting for magic. Voila, magic. That's magic. They waiting on superstition. Superstition is different than the supernatural. Yeah, so Jesus can heal you supernaturally. It's when he puts his super on your natural, and he says it might have been restricted before, you might have been bound before, but today is your day of freedom. Today is your day of healing. Get up, pick up your mat, and walk. I know that you've always been stuck, but today is the day you become free. Today is not the day I take away the pain of the past, but it is the day I give you a new future. It is the day I give you a fresh start. It is the day where everything around you may look the same, but everything around you just changed because I'm giving you a fresh start. Do you want to get well? Here's how I know when you get well. I know when somebody really got well, when all they can talk about is the fact that they just got well. Yeah, because some people be like, yeah, man, church was good, but an hour later they cussing at the Cracker Barrel. This man here, right here though, this man right here, when the Pharisees walked into him and asked him a question, all he could say was, look, man, all I know is this, the one who healed me told me to get up, pick up my mat and walk. They asked him another question. The man who healed me told me, pick up, get up your mat and walk. When they ask you why you doing what you're doing, because the man who healed me told me to get up and pick up my mat and walk. When they ask you why you're trying again, because the man who healed me told me to get up and pick up my mat and walk. Why are you leaving now? Because God told me to pick up my mat and walk. Why are you transitioning now? Because he called me to pick up my mat and walk. Are you willing to walk into your fresh start? Because you won't be able to get your fresh start if you're not willing to walk. This won't be your year of no restrictions if you keep restricting yourself. But he's telling you the limits are off. It hasn't been, it can be. It didn't happen, it can happen. How? Because the God we serve is able. It's not just there for entertainment, it's there for education. Mary don't just get pregnant and have his baby because he wants you to see that young people can have babies. It's to teach you that young people can birth stuff too. We don't read about Abraham and Sarah because we want to encourage 80-year-olds to go around and impregnate on each other. If y'all are working on it and that's your age, I'm not being rude, do you, boo? However you get it done, get it done. I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you that it's not there for those purposes. It's there to teach us that nothing is too hard for God. Do you want to get well? Or are you going to keep making excuses about why you are where you are? Blaming other people for your lack of progress. Blaming other people because your life is where it is. Your life is where it is because you choose to stay where you are. Yeah, you don't like it, but it's good theology. Because the God you see is the God you get. So if you believe that's how your life's supposed to be, that's all. He will let you live on the level you choose to settle for. So if you choose to stay on the boat, the 11 stayed on the boat, and he let them stay there. He didn't say, come on out. Peter said, if it's you, bid me to come. He said, hey, now. This man, he didn't argue. Get up, take up your mat. Man, that's different. Ain't nobody ever said that to me. That's an unfamiliar word. But you know what? Because you seem confident in giving me this word, I'm going to put my confidence not in the fact that I can walk, I'm going to put my confidence in you. I need for y'all today to not put your confidence in the word that you give, but put your confidence in the fact that God gave you the word. The word might not make sense. And some of y'all are waiting on your word to make sense. And because your word hasn't made sense, you haven't acted on it. But you're not trusting the word, you're trusting the one who gave you the word. Take up your mat and walk. Well, you know how long it's been since I walked? You don't just want me to walk. You want me to pick up what was carrying me? So some of y'all have never been on bed rest. When you get up from bed rest, Your legs are wobbly, so you don't want me to just carry my own weight? You want me to pick up something else and carry that after I've been weak? Because when I'm weak, that's when I'm made strong. He's trying to teach us, if you trust me. I'm over my time. But I just wonder if there's anybody here that says, you know what, I've been laying here a long time. I've been doubting God. And I didn't know it, but I've been doubting myself a long time. And that's another step of saying, you know what, I ain't just been doubting God, because most of y'all want to admit you've been doubting yourself. And because you want to admit that you've been your own problem, you're going to stay right there. But if you could get like this man and say, you know what, the man who healed me, saved me, he said, get up, I'm going to get up. I'm going to be like that woman, the woman with the issue of blood, said, if I could just but touch the hem of his garment, I'm going to keep rehearsing the story until I start to see what I believe can happen, because I believe that God is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that I ask, think, dream, or imagine. So my life might suck right now, but he didn't call me to that. He called me to life and life more abundantly. So if you feel like you're sinking, something's wrong. You shouldn't feel like you're sinking. Don't believe that lie. You weren't sent to a house with a pastor who is an achiever and an accomplisher and an influencer and a leader of leaders for you to sit on the sideline passively thinking that life is supposed to be mundane. He called you to this house to wake something up inside of you for you to say, you know what, if he's going to get up and take up his mat, I need to get up and take up my mat. If he can walk away from what he built, why can't I walk away from this knucklehead? Worried about what the church folk gonna say. This man was like, look, the man who healed me, bruh, I'm gonna tell you again. If you ask me one more time, the man who healed me told me this. Don't ask me no more. Can I pray for you? This word was for you. Do me a favor. Just lay your hand on yourself. I want you to lay hands on yourself. You've been waiting for somebody to lay hands on you for a long time. Yeah, I'm not laying hands on you. I want you to lay hands on your own self. Father, we thank you for being a healer. We thank you for being a provider. We thank you for being a protector. We thank you for being a waymaker. We thank you for this word. We thank you for the courage. We're praying for the courage to move past our past. We're praying for the boldness to step out on your word. We're praying for the endurance to make it on the journey. We're praying you'll give us the wisdom and the insight to know who we have been is not at all who we have to be. I'm praying for changed hearts and changed lives and changed families, believing that the best is yet to come. Every door that was closed before them, that's made for them, I pray you will show them if they walk up to it, you'd open it. This is their year of no restrictions. Everything you have for them is available if they would get up and pick up their mat and walk. This is the year they become everything you intended. I thank you for how you're doing it. I thank you for this man of God you sent to serve Fresh Start Church. I pray that you will do what only you know how. That as you stir his gifts in every area, that you will guard his life in every area. That you will increase his faith, his focus, and his finances in every area. I pray that as you continue to pour the oil on him, your word says as the oil flows from the top, it comes down to the body. And so we lift up Pastor Marquise Boone, believing it's going to bless the body. We lift him up today, believing it's going to benefit the church. As it benefits the church, it's going to benefit the people. And so we unselfishly come saying, have your way in Pastor's life. Bless him as only you know how. Keep him as only you know how. Cover him as only you know how. Lead him as only you know how. Believing that you're doing something new in his heart. I pray for this church. Pray for a fresh start for Fresh Start. A fresh start for Fresh Start. New territory. New opportunities. New people, new lives, all for your honor because they want to make your name great. They want to make you famous. They want to see people released, revived, restored. And so we say thank you in advance for the favor and the grace you're resting on Fresh Start Church. I thank you for those who are going to come forth to give their life to you today, as they're going to step forward for a fresh start. Have your way. And I want to know if I have any radical believers this morning, that you're believing your healing isn't coming later, but you're believing that you're about to walk in your healing right now. You're believing that your fresh start is starting right now. You're believing your fresh start right now. I think you ought to put your hands